Week 2, Day 2, Assisted Lab number 7, Managing the Life Cycle of a Certificate. In this activity, you will explore the properties of different kinds of digital certificates and use Windows to request, issue, and revoke certificates. In the first part of this activity, you'll examine the certificate server, open Certificate Services on DC1, and locate the root certificate. We're on DC1, so Control-Alt-Delete. Down here with the password. It's password. Right. In Server Manager, select Tools, Certification Authority. So we can see it. Right-click the server and select Properties. There you are. Oh, there it is. Just took a second. Okay, on the General tab, note the root certificate, certificate 0. Which of the following is the identity of the cryptographic provider? There we go. Provider, Microsoft Software Key Storage Provider. Storage provider. All right. Take a look at that guy. Yep, that's what it says. Select the View Certificate button. This is the CA's servers, the CA server's proof of identity. Note that it is self-signed. Come on, you can open for me? There you go. Note that it's self-signed, issued to itself by itself, because this is the root certification authority. If you were to create subordinate CAs, they would be issued with certificates signed by this server. What is the purpose of this certificate? Select 2, all issuance policies and all applications policies. All application policies and all issuance policies. There we go. A CA has been installed with the DC to minimize the number of VMs required for the labs. A certificate authority has been installed with this DC1 machine to minimize the number of virtual machines required for the labs. This configuration is not something that should ever be done in a production environment. A root CA must be installed to a standalone server with no other roles configured on it. The root CA is very commonly kept offline, except when signing or revocation actions have to be performed. The task of issuing certificates is delegated to an intermediate CA, but again, that should not be installed on the same machine as the DC. Close the certificate window and select Cancel. It's a good practice to cancel configuration boxes to close them rather than selecting OK and implementing an inadvertent change. All right, next. Browse the components used to issue and revoke certificates. In the certification, let's make sure I've got all these here. Yep, okay. All right, so select Issued Certificates. Expand it. Select Issued Certificates. There we go. The domain controller certificates issued to the host server are displayed. There they are. Begin, expiration date, issued common name. There we go. Lots of information. Select the certificate with the most current certificate effective date. which is any one of these. Doesn't matter. Looks like they're the same. Then right click and open. Who is this certificate issued by? 515 Support CA. Okay, select OK to close the certificate dialog box. And certificate templates folder. Take several seconds. There you go. This snap-in shows the various kinds of certificates that can be issued, such as for server authentication, user authentication, and other specialist uses, as well as different usage profiles. Certificate templates can represent different ways of allowing subjects to be enrolled with that type of certificate. Which of the following templates should you choose if you need to configure server authentication? Well, intended purpose, server authentication, that would be web server. What certificate provides encrypting file system secure email client authentication for employee accounts? Let's pull this and see. Alright, so we got encrypting file system, secure email client authentication, employees accounts, that would be user. In the next part of this activity, you will request a certificate for the MS1 member server and use it to configure a secure web service. You will then explore options for revoking the certificate. In this step, use IIS Manager on the MS1 VM to request a new certificate. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and go to the MS1, Control-Alt-Delete, and then down here, password is password, enter. In Server Manager, select Tools, Internet Information Services, IIS Manager. In the Connections pane, it's over here, select MS1 icon in the home pane, open Server Certificates Applet. Okay. Select MS1 and in the home pane, select Server Certificates. Keep going down here. There they are. I had to scroll down a bit. In the Actions pane over here, select Create Domain Certificate. Not seeing that. Okay, I had to double click on it. Create Domain Certificate. Anything? Nothing? There it goes. Took a second. Like that. And we go common names. Common name being, will this work? It does. Organization. Just click on this over here. Organizational unit. Web services. Okay, get the common name, the organization, the web services, and then your location. For me, I am in Grand Junction, Colorado. Okay, and select Next. Did I get everything? I did. On the online certificate authority page, that's where we're at, select the select button and then select 515 support CA. And okay, and the friendly name, type updates.corp main issue certificate. Okay, so I did that by just clicking on the T, and now we're going to select finish. After a few seconds, the certificate request will be granted. And there it is. Bind certificate to HTTPS port. So bind the certificate to the secure HTTPS port on a website. So I guess we're on the same one here. We're in IIS Manager. Expand the server to sites. And the default website, and then we're going to right click and click default website. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, we did that. And now select edit bindings. There we go. We're going to select the add button. And in the add site binding, we're going to type from the type box HTTPS, and the host name box, we're going to do updates.corp515.com. From the SSL certificate box, select same thing that we just made earlier, and OK. And in the site bindings dialog box, here we go, select the HTTP heading entry and select remove because we don't need it, and confirm by saying yes. Now we're going to switch back to DC1 and observe the web server certificate issued in the issued certificates folder. So go back over here. There it is, web server. There it is. Which certificate template was used? It was the web server. And what is the validity period? Click over here. 7/10/2023 to 7/9/2025. That is 2 years. Next, test the certificate by browsing the website from the PT1 Kali VM. So now we can go to PT1 Kali, sign in as root, with the password being capital P A $$ W0RD. We're going to use the Firefox web browser to connect to this URL here. Okay, so we're going to go with https://updates//corp515support.com. The 515 support user portal should show correctly, and it does. Kali doesn't trust the certificate. Firefox has a list of pre-configured trusted root certificates, and the 515 support CA is not one that's not on the list. root certificate authorities and be added to, can probably be added to the browser. If you try to connect to the server using an incorrect link, an error displayed, but we did this. Okay, so now we're going to navigate through the interface to accept the risks. Advanced and advanced. Navigate through the interface. That's what I did. Oh, okay. Here we go. There we go. Okay, accept the risk and continue. That was acting weird, wasn't it? Just wasn't clicking right. Okay, so now we're going to click on the padlock icon and expand the message. Okay. For more information, connection is not secure. It is encrypted though, because we got a padlock. Is your connection to the server encrypted? Yep, connection encrypted. The page you are viewing was encrypted before being transmitted over the internet. Is it encrypted? Yes, it is. Let's make sure I got that in the right spot. Well, right here, HTTPS and the padlock is telling you that it is. But here we go. What is the identity of the certificate authority that identifies the site? Let's look at the certificate. Issued by 515 Support CA. There we go. Close the browser. There's everything. Come on, Mousy. There's really bad lag here. There we go. Close the browser. Now we're going to use DC1 to revoke the certificate and observe the effect on browsing the site. So we're going back to the DC1 VM. Okay, so here with the issued certificates, I'm going to come down here, so it'll go back up here, so it'll reload. Right click the certificate, all tasks, observe the web server certificate. That's this guy. Right click the certificate, all tasks, revoke. From the reasons code, select cease of operation. We don't need it anymore. And then select yes to confirm. And there it is. If you were to right click the revoked certificates folder and select properties, you would see the next publication of the Delta CRL is set for the next day. Go here, and this one here, right click it. Oh, we're in a cease of operation. Let's look, we're over here. Yeah. On the next day, oh, revoke properties. Yeah. Publish Delta CRLs one day. If you were to return to the web client and attempt the new HTTPS connection, it will still succeed. There will be no certificate warning displayed because the updated CRL has not yet been published. If you want to revoke certificates very quickly, you have to configure the CRL publishing periods before you issue the certificates. The problem with publishing CRLs more often is that it consumes more bandwidth and slows down the client access. So we're going to close down the cert serve. Next. Which of the following best describes activities in this exercise? Well, they've reviewed the CA structure, requested a certificate for IIS bound, the certificate with the default website, verified connectivity with HTTPS, and then revoked the certificate. That's what we did. That's exactly what we did. Based on the above configurations, are HTTP connections still permitted to the default website? Yes. Oh, no? I got that wrong. The above configuration. Verified. Oh, that's right, because we took it out, remember? We went because of support 80 and we removed it. And that is why. They're not still permitted because we actually removed it. Alright, so let's select and submit. Yes. 12 out of 12. Congratulations, you passed.